Hello, hello. It's Giz.
The one and only Mr. Musty Facts.
You know what? Last week I got critiqued.
Okay.
I was told that the way that I was on air was too seductive and too sultry. So I feel like this week I gotta give the people real nigga Westside shit, because when I was trying to be who I thought I authentically was, the people weren't receptive to that. They told me I was seductive and sultry, and I don't.
That sounds like salt and pepper.
That definitely. That sounds.
It was. I know what. You know what? I apologize, y'all. Welcome to This Talks For Us. I just had to get that out. My bad. How you doing today, King? I apologize.
I'm doing amazing, Queen. How about you?
Thriving. Okay. Happy. Kids a little, you know what I mean? I have an 8-year-old daughter, and we kind of had us a little tussle this morning. And so that threw my morning off. Yeah. But, I mean, she do that every day. You know, I'm used to it at this point. But
you should be.
But some stuff you can't get used to. You know how they say you've been living in Chicago for so long, you should be used to the snow. Some shit you can't get used to. You can't. And that's and this is one of them. Like, the girl and the stress of the girl is one of those things.
I don't even like the fact you call her the girl, but hey, that's your chick. That's your kid.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Allow me to call my children what I want to call my. Thank you so much, King. Give me the space to do what I want. It is First Sunday. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, amen. And so because it's First Sunday, we have some true wine.
Yes.
Some true. And so because of that, I think it's only right that we start. Is it okay? Y'all okay? Can we start? Yeah. This man got a damn cup in his.
I know where the fuck was the blood.
Hey, oh, it was the blood. Listen, what I'm saying. Where did you even get that random cup from, Mr. Muncie? What's up with you? How did you get a random cup and you was so prepared?
Oh,
here go the cup.
It was the blood.
Thank you. No, it wasn't the blood.
In my spirit.
He lying.
That's today.
It's giving alcoholic. It's like he pulled it out of his back pocket.
I felt that in my stomach.
It's giving.
Listen.
It's giving alcoholic.
I
Listen.
don't say Sean though. I don't even know what that is, so I'm just say stomach.
Let's see what we're drinking here. Okay, this is True Wine Sangaré.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 12% alcohol.
Yes.
Okay.
It's 4 shots.
Pass me your cup, King. You get first.
Yes.
You get first.
Top off of both. You hear me? Yes.
I wasn't going to top off. I was going to get a little.
No, I'm grown. And I'm an adult.
Each wine is filtered with 4 shots.
Each. I want y'all to understand what he just said.
There you go.
Each wine.
Did you have a cup? Would you like to indulge with us, True?
With 4 shots.
It's the blood of Jesus.
No, it's not. You know what? You right. It's a representation.
I'm trying to tell you, Jesus turned water to wine.
He did. He did. He definitely did do that. Okay.
And then he died.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right.
It don't matter if it's King James version.
Are we toasting? Are we? Damn, that's a lot. Are we? What are we doing, y'all? We toasting? What we?
Definitely toasting.
We toasting. Okay.
First Sunday.
Okay.
Amazing relationship.
True.
Wine that is. And this talks for us.
This talks for us.
Now let's get into the bullshit.
Episode 2.
Episode 2.
I like the way y'all did that.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all might get a little $40 holler.
Damn. This is. So I've never had this, and so I am
open.
Damn.
Well, damn.
Oh.
You know he knew it was blood.
That nigga ain't getting no more. We might put my cat back on my shit. He shouldn't have drunk the tea fast. That's wrong.
I was parched.
No, you're somebody get this some water.
Straight up. I'm trying to have my button.
Straight up.
Some water.
Don't worry about it. Next week I'm gonna have your button ready for you.
Let's go.
Now you get a DJ drop? Hey. I don't like that.
No, next week I'm gonna have your button ready for both of y'all. I didn't want to do that and then we be stalling.
I don't want that.
Miss.
You're right. I apologize.
We are a unit.
We are one. This talk is for us. Not for me, not for you. It's for us. So I apologize.
And like-minded people.
And the culture. You know what I'm saying? It's, everything we do is for the culture. That's the number one priority, right? Absolutely. So one thing that I wanted to discuss with you this weekend, it's not giving seductive assumption. It's giving real nigga. I just want to check myself.
Real nigga.
Okay, it's giving real nigga. Okay, cool. So one thing I wanted to discuss with you this week. I know that you are a father. An amazing father. I've seen you, your boys. You understand what I'm saying? So I wanted to discuss with you something that I had been seeing this week.
Okay.
And so for those that don't know, last week, King.
A week ago today.
T.I.'s son, King, kind of embarrassed the family. The family hustle was a little embarrassed last week by King and his outburst about his family and the things that he had to say. And so T.I. actually had to like put that nigga in the head, like cuff him up, you know what I'm saying? Because what he say, you can't do nothing with me, you can't do nothing with me, you know what I'm saying? And I do know that from what I hear, every son tries their father.
I believe that.
I believe that. Like, you get to a certain age, you feel like, you know, you are also the man of the house. You want to be respected as a man. At a certain age, you're coming into manhood and you want to be respected as a man. And so when your father tells you something, you're not very receptive to it. So being the amazing father that I've seen you to be, I wanted to get into parenthood because you got two boys. Fact. When they try you, King, are you prepared?
Absolutely. First and foremost,
okay.
I'm in the gym.
I'm just going to say allegedly.
Not in the gym.
This one ain't alleged.
Not in the gym.
It's real. This must be
okay, you in the gym. Okay, you in the gym.
I'm in the gym, but not only that.
They be in the gym too, though. I'm just saying. They be in the gym.
But my preparation is more mental than the physical.
Okay.
And the reason why I try to take the mental approach because you're talking to a guy who has a father who's alive and who's been alive, of course, throughout my childhood, but wasn't there. So I didn't get the chance to try my father. Me and my father didn't bump heads until I want to say my sophomore year in college, and I had to enlighten my pops on some shit that he didn't know from the time that he missed. But I'm definitely mentally, spiritually, and emotionally prepared for the day one or the other tries me as a man. You want to stick his chest out, and being a man, I kind of know when it's coming, right? So my oldest son, a freshman, is gonna come for him first because A, he's a lot like me. B, when he get it, when he, you know, you get a sniff of that little whiff. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm sorry?
When you get a sniff of that whiff. You know what I'm saying? When you scratch that kitty cat.
What?
Whoa there, buddy.
You
what?
Me?
I'm just trying to figure out how he get.
When he start feeling himself from the girl, because the girl's been kind of on him a little bit, but when they really get on him and he smell a little cooch a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
You got to lick it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? When he decides to be more involved with young ladies, I think that's when he starts to smell himself. I think that's when he'll start to smell himself a little bit. So like right now, you know, we go through the little hitting thing. He want to hit me. He want to throw the jab.
Yeah.
He want to see him I hitting him back hard enough to where I'm going to ruffle his feathers. Because, you know, he used to be it hurt because he's a little guy. But, you know, like you say, he been in the gym. He feeling a little tough. One time I fired his ass. Quick left.
I done seen him slap out your kids before. I'm telling you, I done seen the one.
Yeah, well.
So I hope you.
I jabbed him. I jabbed his little ass.
What is that? What is
Threw a jab at him, boxing terms. You box.
Okay, but when where did that land?
Oh, it landed on his shoulder. Cause I want to make sure I don't fuck up his shooting hand. I jabbed his little ass.
That's the fucking reason.
Yeah, I want to make sure you can go to practice. You know, I don't want to cause any visible harm.
Okay.
But I jabbed him, and he was like, "Ooh." And when he said, "Ooh," I knew I'm gonna let you know. And I say, I hit you with my left, and I didn't even hit you hard. It was a jab.
I'm southpaw, but go ahead.
I boxed southpaw too.
Go ahead.
But the jab was just bow, you know?
It was quick.
Quick as fuck. Cause see, I told him, I used to box back in the day. You lying. Alright. Jab his little ass. Okay. Maybe he do know a little something. So it's just that type of terminology of,
what you gonna do if they jump you though? Cause if you hit the brother, I don't know what make you think the other brother
hard enough to where he understands, let me get the fuck away from my dad. You gotta hit him hard enough. Like, you might have to hit his ass in his ribs. Break his ass down and hit him in his, what is the word, solar plex? Break his ass down to where he gasping for air. Now it's like, all right, I tell you little ass, you know, that type of situation. And then, like I say, the concept of explaining things to kids nowadays has to be at the forefront, because I think the only reason why, as you were talking about King, he's struggling for identity because of what he wants versus what his reality is. Yeah. So it's very true, right? He was going to school from his grandma's house and blah, blah, blah. He didn't like the fact that T.I. said, the only reason you going to your grandma's house is because you was whining and shit.
Pacifier till you swear.
Right. And that's what he felt comfortable with. And as Tiny was like, just let him go. I don't know if you've seen it.
I did.
It's a clip where T.I. said you gotta let him become a man. You gotta let him go through some shit. You have to let these kids go through some shit in order to understand what's in front of them. And I see that a lot with kids that are privileged. As a coach, been coaching for about 5 years, AAU, a lot of kids today are privileged. And we can't blame the kids. We got to talk about parenting. Because it starts from us. So if you sit and you pacify a kid every time they fall on the ground, you want, oh, my baby, my baby. What the hell you think they're going to do the next, if you've been doing it for 6 years, what do you think you're going to do for the next 7 years if you don't correct it?
So I'll ask you this then. You see how T.I. was able to like put him in the headlock real quick? Do you think that T.I. has always done that? Because had he always been doing that, I feel like King would have simmered down when he saw his... Okay.
Because he had somewhere to run to. He had grandma's house to run to. He had Tiny, who don't understand manhood, who's wired emotionally versus logically. And, whoa, did I touch a nerve?
You didn't touch shit.
Okay.
Go ahead on it.
Whoa. What I'm saying is, in my opinion, today's world has changed to where we're living in a more sensitive, I'm worried about your feelings world. I like to say we living in a woman's world. It was a man's world at one point in time, right? We grew up. You got to be tough. Don't all that crying shit's for the birds. And I'm not going to say it didn't cause damage, because it definitely did. But I think it provided structure. It provided logic. I'm a guy who believes that logic should go over emotion at any given point.
Are you blaming women?
I'm not blaming women for shit.
Okay.
I'm blaming society for allowing women's voices to be louder than men's voice. No voice should be louder than the other. This is why we have this podcast, because there's different point of views, and both point of views bring completion to one's life. I don't think you can live life without a man and a woman. I think that's your
what about all the single mothers that feel like they are
bullshit?
They are raising their sons and daughters perfectly fine without a man's help.
Until it doesn't show right away. Signs show, but the product doesn't show right away throughout the development, because you're not allowing them to. So here, I grew up single family home, right? I still had uncles, my granddaddy, OGs in the hood.
Yeah.
My mother never said, you can't tell that's my son. You ain't gonna tell me how to raise my son. My mother never did that. However, I have relatives. Right. I have a relative that her children are all by one man who's a fucking deadbeat. Right?
Damn, we gotta take a pause for that. Like, how do you keep having kids with a motherfucker that's a deadbeat. God damn. Not her, but as a whole, like women will continue to repeatedly have children.
I can't answer that. You can because you're a woman. You have more insight on that than I do because you're a woman.
You can have...
Listen, listen to the question you just asked. You can. I can't speak for women. I can give you what I think, but I can't speak for a woman.
And I can't speak for a woman having kids with deadbeats, but I can feel...
You have a better opportunity of putting yourself in their mind frame.
Not at all. The fuck? Because I wouldn't have kids with a fucking deadbeat.
But have you seen it? Whoa.
We've all seen it.
But do you have... Because see, my friend, I have a rule. You can't be a deadbeat father and be around me. You can't be my homie if you're a deadbeat. But do I have friends fucking... That you know that have deadbeat fathers or fuck with the same nigga and you like, why? Why are you fucking with him? You see what I'm saying? Like me, I'm gonna tell you. My homies sleep couch. I'll be like, bro, you know she doing dicks. What are you mad at?
What the fuck just happened?
Pause.
Cause right. What are you talking about?
I have homies. I want you to hear me because I know sometimes it kind of fuck with you.
Go ahead on now.
I have homies who deal with a chick who ain't shit or who's sworn her oath, but he trying to wife her. Why you trying to wife her? Why you putting so much into her when you know she out here living life? And now you mad because she living life. You seen it. I seen it. The guy seen it.
Come back.
What the fuck are you mad about?
Kane, come on back.
Come on back to what you just
we talking about the women. We're talking about women who have repeated kids with the same tacky ass deadbeat.
How do they have kids? They fuck them, right? They have sex with them. They keep fucking with them. That's why you said bring it back. We in the same place. I'm just using it from a man's perspective than a woman's perspective. So,
I did hear that deadbeat dick is great. That is what I heard.
Yeah, I heard too. I know. I heard. Some guys they fucking for livelihood. I'm not fucking for livelihood.
I hear you
because it's
called a
PlayStation
homosexual.
No, it's called a PlayStation.
So
Xbox.
niggas is fucking women that have a place to stay.
Yes.
But so again, we're
all
going back.
It's PlayStation 5. Ain't good dick.
We going back. Let's go back now. We were talking about women who feel like they can raise their child without male help. Let's get back there.
I was explaining it.
I know.
I just wanted to give a comparison from a man's perspective. But so what do I think personally in the situation of my relative is you're trying to not have multiple baby daddies.
Why don't you start by not having multiple kids? But go ahead.
You're trying to not mess with different men. You know, I hear women say, I don't want to start over. I see the good in him. I think a lot of women date off potential.
Write that down. So I write that down for topic 3. Fucking with people for potential. Because that has to be discussed.
We will.
Oh my God.
But what I'm saying is, you know he ain't shit, but you keep going back. It's any behavior. It's just like a drug addict. They're doing something knowing it's not good for them, but they're going to do it because of how it makes them feel in the moment. So they're not thinking long term. They're not.
So as far as parenting is concerned,
they dropping the ball as a parent.
So it starts at the sex. It starts at the procreation.
Yes, it does. It has to. I think it started before that. I think it just started with the mind frame. We got too many grown ass people and not enough adults. Grown motherfuckers do shit like that. Adults don't. You hear motherfucker in a heartbeat say, I'm a grown ass man. I'm a grown ass woman. How many adults you know do shit like that?
There's a difference between grown ass men and adults.
As a grown up, you turn into a grown up after, I'll say 21. Some people like to say 18, but you can't.
You can buy squares.
You can buy squares, but you can't drink and all that stuff until you get 21, right? Right? You considered a grown up at 21, a real live grown up, right? You could be, but your adulthood is not an age bracket. It's a mind frame, and it's how you carry yourself.
So can you be an adult before 18?
I think some people have been forced to be adults before 18.
Ooh.
I've heard stories of people who were put out of their parents' house, but I know you can't get an apartment unless you use an adult. You use a grown up. But going out paying their bills, handling bills, absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So mindset. With the proper mindset, you're saying we can. How do we avoid the king situations of the world?
I think you have to do a reality check on yourself.
Who? The parent or the child?
Parents. Again, we're going to take the kid out of this because the kid only doing what they're showed in their learned behavior. The one who's had the child has to make a conscious decision. We say that
when you say the one that had the child, you mean who birth canal came out of? I want to make sure
I'm going to say the one who where the child originated, which is out of this nutsack, and the one who birthed the child. It's the two parents.
So the two, okay.
It's the parents. I don't want to put more blame on one than the other.
Thank you.
Okay. Why do you think I'm such a...
Just go ahead on. I just was trying to find a clarifying question. God, I can't even ask. God, just go ahead on.
So what I'm saying is, I think it's both. I think before you decide to have unprotected sex, right? I think you have to ask the tough questions. It's uncomfortable. You have to go and do the research on what your family like.
Hold on a second.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so before you, so I know that you've only had one relationship your whole life, right? So I can see you there. But what I'm saying is, so before you got into this one relationship and shit, right? You sat down and did a motherfucking survey and asked her these questions. What are you saying right now?
The part about me, check it out. I was the guy in high school because I started having sex in high school, right? I was the guy in high school that took my rubber with me. Mind you, if I brought my rubbers, I'm taking this motherfucker with me.
Why you needed more than one?
Just in case the bitch bust. I don't know. I was scared. My uncle had put me on the game. Take you multiples. Because I didn't know the next time I was going to hit something. I didn't want it to dry out. I wasn't reading expiration dates. You feel me?
They expire? They do. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I apologize.
CPS again?
Don't do that.
I thought y'all had sex education.
Go ahead on. I asked you.
But what I'm saying is, I took my rubber with me. I knew my grandmother had my mom at 16. My mom had me at 16. I didn't want that. I knew personally I didn't want that. My mom was drilling it in my head to not be a teenage parent because I seen how tough it was for my mom. So I knew I didn't want that. So I took my rubber with me. If I know I'm cracking something, I'm gonna give it to you. Musty.
How you know you're gonna crack? Go ahead. Just go ahead.
Hey, you fucking with a real one. You hear me? Call me Mr. Get It Done. You understand me? I was ahead of my time, baby. Hit the slow jam with a write a little love.
I'm sorry. Wow. So the love letter and songs did it?
Love letter, slow jam, attention, pay attention to what a woman wants. I had insight on my mother and my auntie.
And you was doing that at fucking 15. Whatever age you started fucking.
Legs in the air. Backdrop, yeah.
Now, I call cap on that shit, but go ahead.
Call it what you want to.
Go ahead on. Just
legend.
go ahead on.
I'm a legend in the falls. You know what I'm saying? But no,
and you did a survey. You wanted to check the mindset.
My survey was mental. So I paid before. I didn't don't get me wrong, right? I did have a little bit of time to grow. I had a little bit of time to grow because I hit puberty late. So when my homies was hitting at 7th and 8th grade, I didn't hit until my first time I had sex was the summer going into my freshman year. And then I still didn't get that much play. I was a freshman.
That's fucking 8th grade.
Yeah, no, that's going into high school. Don't do me. And then I was a 4'11" freshman. So all the girls didn't like me. I wasn't sought out, you feel me? So I had a little bit of time. So I had to work a little bit harder. I had to pay attention to the things that other people didn't pay attention to stand out, to show why you should like me. Mm. And then when I hit that little growth spurt, and now I'm catching up to everybody else, I'm taller than most of the girls. Oh, it's hell to pay. So now I have options, but by me not having options, I was like, let me be careful. And then I listen. I've always been a listener to what people say. And I always observe body language. So I'm looking at you when you don't know I'm looking at you. I'm in a lunchroom and I done already spotted you like, yo, she's attractive. That ain't enough for me though. I gotta see what you got.
How is this not creepy almost.
How's
like
creepy?
Because why you out fucking people and
doing research is creepy? That's the problem. But then when the man get with y'all, he don't pay attention to what I like.
Okay, go ahead. You was 15, but go ahead.
Yeah, man.
Just go ahead.
Because I was mature. I was mature. But that's just how I did things. I wasn't trying to I knew I didn't want to have a child at a young age. I knew I wanted to live life. I knew I wanted to have a social life. I was an athlete. There's shit that I want to do.
So you did the prerequisite check prior to the raw sex?
Yes, I did. So don't get me wrong. There was some dysfunctional young ladies in all three high school. I went to 2 high schools. That wasn't all boy. The 2 high schools I went to and outside of school, yeah, but I knew I had my mind fixed on, I'm not doing this without a rubber.
Are you saying that this is the blueprint though?
To me, it is. It worked for me.
If we start here with the survey prior to,
yes, you got,
then we can avoid.
You got to survey people. You want me to tell you why you got to survey people? And I don't think we do enough surveying as parents, as adults or grown-ups, whichever area you fall in. We don't survey people enough because why a lot of us men are visual, right? So we're looking at girls and we hitting as the fact that she thick as hell, right? Which BBLs are kind of balancing things out.
Dumbass mindset, but go ahead.
Call it what you want to. Don't nobody want to clap a wall, yeah?
But if the wall has the potential to be an amazing wife, an amazing mother,
but if I don't do the research that you was just talking shit about.
But you ain't gonna get a chance to do the research because she ain't got a fat ass.
If I don't do the research, that's what I'm saying. Me.
But you won't do the research if she ain't got a fat ass.
Because my shallow moments was a pretty face, first and foremost, before I want to have sex with you. I didn't want to have sex on the first night.
You ain't fuck no boogers, no boogers.
I definitely fucked some boogers.
Okay then.
But I knew when I was fucking a booger, that booger was only gonna be a booger. I was over careful with that booger.
You flicked it.
Woo! You know what I mean? Nightcrawler. 11:59, Jack.
That's a whole, the more and more I talk to you, and I hear him too, I get angrier.
What are you?
The reason why is because
everything
y'all are. When I say that y'all ain't shit as a species, that's what I mean.
So what does it make women now?
Go ahead on, please.
See, we gonna go to another topic.
And I don't want to do that because you're gonna upset me, and I don't want to be upset. It's first Sunday, so just go ahead.
You're right. So I'm asking you, right? You asked me how, even though you want to critique and complain about my way of doing things and what worked for me. What works for you when you with your one relationship, right? You and your high school sweetheart, y'all have kids and things like that. What is your mind frame from a woman's standpoint on how we avoid these things?
I was very selective with who I procreated with.
Okay.
Very selective. I did have shallowness in my selectiveness, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I want you to be an athlete because I wasn't. I can't even run. So I wanted somebody I wanted somebody that was athletic. I wanted somebody who I think grew up similar to me, because when y'all don't grow up the same, even in y'all parenting styles, when you have children, mm-hmm. you all will have disagreements and you all will bump heads. So I did that survey. You understand what I'm saying? So I agree with you having a survey. It was about the shit that I felt like was in your survey, but it is what it is. I guess yours ain't no different than mine.
Yeah, because you want an athlete, which means you probably wanted somebody that was 6 feet. I'm pretty sure your husband is at least 6 feet.
My husband is 6'1".
Okay, so he's 6'1". He's an athlete. He can run. He can jump. He played basketball, right?
Okay, so listen to me, though.
State championship, man.
State championship. Shout out
together.
But he didn't have to have a certain height. He just did. I didn't have the height requirement that most women have. I just needed you to be an athlete, and I needed you to have good work ethic.
So if he was a 5'2",
you can't be shorter than me.
Swimmer.
You could have been a swimmer. Absolutely.
5'2".
You can't be 5'2".
Horseback rider. Horseback riding is tough.
I think I would fuck with horseback riding because I think that you'll teach me something that I don't see every day.
Do you think
I like that?
Do you think that now, or do you think that back then? Back then, you not dating no horseback rider. You went to Westinghouse.
Don't fucking play. See, that's what I'm saying. Is when you do shit like that, that you be pissing me the fuck off. But that's the reason why I would have fucked with a horseback rider, because they ain't had horseback riding at Westinghouse, okay? And they didn't have none in the surrounding neighborhood. So I would have fucked with a horseback rider, okay? Because that's something different. You can teach me how to be an equestrian. You understand what I'm saying?
That's a warrior.
See, that's a warrior.
True.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would have fucked with a horseback rider. You know what? I don't have time. You can't tell me my criteria. When you said you would fuck with boogers, I let you have that.
I did fuck with boogers. I didn't say I would. Let's cut that shit. Don't put something on my name. I like that too. I like that. I love
like you fucking boogers.
Don't put that. I would not fuck with a booger.
You did not have to have a certain high requirement. I guess the requirement was that you had to be taller than me. That was the requirement, okay? But also, how you were raised made a big difference to me.
Okay.
If you were only child, made a difference to me.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because I don't want a partner that I feel like is selfish, used to having everything their way, used to having, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. My husband's still very, had everything his way-ish. But that's, okay. But I knew that that was just the surface level of him. He still knew how to share. He still knew how to be a compromiser. He still knew how to be understanding. But for me, everything was based off of fucking work ethic and finances.
Very important. I don't think we talk about that enough in our culture as well.
I think that I heard somebody say that having a bunch of kids is a poor man's sport. Unless you Nick Cannon, it is.
It definitely is.
Because what we're not recognizing is that we can't be the best parents that we can when we don't have the funds to take care of them.
Or the time. Because
we're consistently trying to work. So now our children is being raised by the street. What dog say? You know what I'm saying? He had to go out, and he was raised by the streets because his mom was at work. You understand what I'm saying? And so these are the type of things that I was looking for before I procreated with somebody. I was very selective.
So when you talk about King, and I'm just trying to bring it back, when you talk about the situation with King, I think T.I. and Tiny did it the right way, because King is the third to the last kid.
Did they do it the right way? The reason why I say that is because how many kids did T.I. have prior to him starting to have kids with Tiny? No.
Yes, he did. T.I. only got one kid. He got Major. Tiny's daughter. It goes Tiny's daughter.
How many kids did T.I. have prior to Tiny?
That's what I'm saying. It goes Neek, Deja, and Damani are the same age. So that's what I'm saying. He only got one kid outside of Tiny.
That's not true. He got Deja, and I want to say one or two or more of those boys.
No, ma'am, they only have Neek, Deja, Damani, King,
it's another boy,
light skinned chubby one, and then the little girl.
No, it's another boy. It's Damani and somebody else. Okay, well, fine. I don't want to have a conversation because
they both had a kid. No, she had the kid first because she's older.
Okay, so yeah,
she had the kid first, and she had a bag from Escape.
Absolutely.
So it was her. It was her kid 1st. Every other kid from T.I. except for Deja is through Tiny. They both got an outside.
Damani is not Tiny kid.
No, that's the outside kid. T.I. has an outside kid. Tiny has an outside kid.
He got two outside kids.
Jesus Christ, lady.
Deja and Damani.
Deja, Damani is, what's the name's mama? That's Tiny's son, right?
I don't think so. Either way, it don't matter.
Right.
So you're saying that they did it right?
I still think he did it the right way. The reason why I'm saying he did it the right way,
did it the right way, but go ahead.
Because the reason why I'm saying they still did it the right way, because he still found a way to blend families. He still found a way to put his family under one roof. Even though, like I say, King can tell you he lived with his grandmother. He didn't live with his grandmother. We seen you. Nigga,
but how many of us were raised by our grandmother? So that's another issue that I had with the King situation. When our parents were at work, we would go be with our grandparents.
Yes.
So he's using it as an excuse. I was raised in the bando. Let's go to the bando. Let's go to
notice he's saying go to the bando. His room was in the same house, and of course they say they did it for TV. But I got an uncle that live in Atlanta. I drove past Tip crib. Tip been hit like
he had 3 kids prior to her.
I'm sorry.
He had 3 kids prior to her.
3?
Go ahead, though.
Okay,
I
thank you.
apologize.
I apologize. Thanks for the fact check, but
I just got that sent to me. Thank you so much. Shout out to the listeners. Thank you.
But what I'm saying is, how would he have done it wrong? How would they have done it wrong? Because I think kids are still going to be kids. We try to put kids in the best situations that we can. However, some kids are more influenced by their surroundings versus what's at home.
That's a fact.
And
that is a fact.
But what I'm seeing today that bothers my spirit is that parents are no longer being parents. They're trying to be friends. They care more about being liked at a young age by the child than doing what they know is right. Okay, so we all know that once you have a child, that child is no longer, your life no longer belongs to you. Your life, you have to take sacrifices as a parent for your kids. I'm not seeing that enough anymore. And at one
Excuse
point,
me?
I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it enough.
You got to give me an example because I don't know what you're saying.
Again, I told you, I coached AAU for 5 years, right? I can't tell you how many parents I've seen. I can tell you, maybe three parents consistently came to games. Maybe 3, no more than 5.
We had that during our time. I have people in my space, personal space, telling
force?
Me by force.
This is by choice. That's what I'm saying.
Why you think that them people ain't that work, Coach?
Because I know the goddamn parent. I know you ain't never been to practice. I know that all I see you for is a payment, and then you gone. You drop your kids off. You don't ask about how your kid is doing. You don't ask. They
might be at work.
Listen to what I'm saying. You still got to drop your kid off. So that's bullshit to me. And our culture perpetuates bullshit because I don't give a fuck what goes on. You can't tell me that you do raffles, you stand in line for shoes, you go pay this extra money. Now I'm on my shit. You just touched the nerve. You can't tell me you doing all this shit.
Not raffles.
You'll pay for all this shit. You'll pay for your kid to have on $1,000 worth of shit.
Because I'm not able to give them the time, I'm able to give them the money. I don't have the time because I'm at work.
You will pay for your kids to have on $1,000 worth of shit, but you won't pay for your kid to get an extra tutor because you know he fucking up or she fucking up in school.
You got that one.
You bitch and moan about the school system, but you can't get your ass up and go to a PTA meeting.
Ooh.
Or even if you don't want to go there, right? You always at work. You always doing this. Pay for your kid to go into a better environment. AKA, send them to a motherfucking private school where you know, we gonna go there. You can say private school, charter school. I don't give a fuck what you do. You pay for what you get a lot of times. And at first, in our generation, that wasn't the case. Because you do still have, even right now, you still have kids that go to public schools and they come out and they be great kids. They get these scholarships for academics to go to school.
Me.
Right? But here, check it out.
I did have academic scholarships.
Right. Now check it out though. Check it out. Now do the research on how many of those kids are doing it. Because this is the thing I always hear when I decided to put my kid in the Catholic school. And I told people like, no, Joe, hey, education-wise, he got a better shot. I'm just putting him in a better situation. A better shot at succeeding in life.
All right.
Because of education is important. Because there's structure in those classes. Because you don't have a fucking kid. You don't have a teacher who's coming there who don't give a fuck, just want to check. And you know why? Because if they got a certain amount of kids that don't do well in their class, they get questioned as to why. What's going on?
Yeah.
Because I'm paying for this shit.
No, you saying something?
Because people don't respect shit nowadays unless there's money involved. Think about it. You can be the brokest motherfucker in the world, but you're going to get respect because you look like $1,000. You look like $1 million because you drive a certain car. They're going to look at you differently. They're going to treat you differently.
What's the shoes that the white men be wearing?
The Air Monarchs.
There's no air in front of them shits. It's Nike Monarch.
Nike Monarchs.
But
here's the thing. And that's that. I love you just mentioned that. Our kids are walking around with shoes that cost anywhere from $500 and up. The Balenciagas, the Louboutins, the what's the Celine and all
McQueen,
all that shit, right? And these kids dumb as fuck. These kids can't read on a fucking level.
A tutor is cheaper than some motherfucking.
Yeah.
I think that should be knockoff, but that's a whole other topic.
No, but even the ones that don't, right? Even the ones that's not knockoffs. Even knockoffs. Because I know some kids that selling knockoffs. They still selling knockoffs for $200-$300, right? They still selling knockoffs for $200-$300.
Send me the link.
I'm not doing that.
Okay.
They're buying knockoffs, which is still $300 within that month. $300 within that month. You know what you can do with $300 in that month?
A tutor.
You can get a tutor who's going to follow up. But we're not demanding our kids to do this.
So I hear you. I agree. I agree. But I actually feel like we're better parents now than they were then.
From what standpoint?
Because
emotionally?
Definitely emotionally.
I give you that.
But even not emotionally, right? I feel like I hear you in what you've experienced as a coach and your AAU team members and stuff like that, right? But what I will say to you is, I think that our parents went to work. We were latchkey kids. We had to figure the rest of the fucking day out on our own. You either gonna clean up, you're gonna do your homework, you're gonna go across the street to Miss Ann's house. We were latchkey kids. We had to figure it out ourselves or we were in an after school program, or we was at the park. We was doing all this shit on our own. Whereas now, we lay our shit out for our kids. All right, somebody's going to pick you up at 3. You'll have this from 3 to 5. At 5 o'clock, you'll get picked up there. We are a lot more active in our children's lives, I feel like, than they were in our lives. We had to figure shit out where we give our kids the motherfucking blueprint.
Are we more active, or are we more structured? Yeah. There's a difference.
I think that they were actually more structured than we were.
No, it's not structured. You got to go figure it out. There's no blueprint. Go figure it out.
But that was the structure. Because you had the time frame. You had to call me before you had to come home, call my job to let me know you made it at 5. Then I fucked around and you did whatever you did, I guess, between 5 and 7, but I still kind of knew what you was doing. You were disciplined enough in my home to, you understand what I'm saying? But what I'm saying, we don't have as much structure because we try to do so much. We want our kids in this, we want our kids in that. We're showing up at these things, we're doing these things. Like, I feel like we are better parents today than they were then. We're trying to pay attention to what our children are eating and they didn't. We're trying to make sure we know a time frame on where our kids are and where our kids ain't. Like, I think that we're a lot more active, and then we're asking our kids more and more, how did you feel today on an emotional scale, right? Mm-hmm. So to go back to emotion, how are you feeling today? What's going on? I love you more. You know how many people in our generation didn't hear I love you on a regular basis from their parents?
Absolutely.
And we're that's a generational curse that I love that we are breaking. Mm-hmm. But I feel like when we had to figure shit out on our own, though, when all we had was a key that was tied around our neck to get us in the house, and we had to figure that shit out till they came home. We made a motherfucking bag meal. We ate sandwiches. We went outside and played in the sandbox. I actually feel like that taught us life more, though, so that we can get out in the world and be the non-kings of today.
I don't think that. Non-kings? So here, I agree with some of it. I think we're more structured.
As parents
today. As parents. I think we're more structured. But there's a thing called critical thinking that our kids lack. Kids are us. Our kids of today lack critical thinking because everything is so structured.
I give you that.
So, as well as I think, our kids don't appreciate us as much as we did appreciate our parents.
I agree with that.
Because we went without. Right? We work for shit more than our kids of today because they don't understand it. So that's why I'm saying our parents, like I said, emotionally, hell yeah, we much better. Paying attention to health and wellness, hell yeah. But when you talk about knowing how to not just survive in life, we actually do know how to live. Because we learn how to figure shit out on our own. We're problem solvers.
This is the disadvantage that we're giving our children.
Yes, and we have social skills. All our fucking kids know is this. This thing right here.
They social as fuck on that.
They're not social. They're not social. Because you got it right now where kids won't even pick up the phone and say, "Hey Joe, what you on?"
That's your definition of social.
No. They're gonna text.
They have their version of what social is, though.
That's why they don't understand tones. They don't understand passion versus anger. Mm-hmm. They don't. They don't know when I'm being passionate. Man, I care. You can't coach a kid and say, "Come on, man, get your ass up." I know you better than that. All they know.
Don't tell my kid get your ass up.
I am. If he was on my team, I'm telling him, get your big ass up and get down.
Now, why you had that big ass part?
He's taller. He's a bigger eighth grader.
Go ahead on.
Not in weight.
Go ahead on.
But what I'm saying is, I can coach you to tell you that life is not gonna always be like this. And the voices in your head are not going to always be the voice that needs to be heard. Because what you telling yourself, what's reality, could be two different things.
Do you think that it has enabled our children to be more sensitive?
Fucking right.
Oh.
Punk-ass parents produce punk-ass kids.
How do you... that's why we need the drop.
Punk-ass parents produce punk-ass kids.
But what make us punks? Because we say, "I love you"?
No. That I love that. There's nothing wrong, and I think that's something that we should have been hearing. I think we should have been hearing affirmations. However, go tell your kid an affirmation loud as shit. Not the girl as you call her. She loud anyway. But go tell your kid an affirmation. That's the second dig he done did on my motherfucking kids in 2 fucking minutes. Look, go tell your kid an affirmation loud as fuck. Scream it to the top of your lungs. And then tell your kid tell your kid an affirmation like this. You and I both know words have power. You and I both know that our bodies naturally goes according to tones. Our brains are wired to get tones. If you didn't know, I think.
Go ahead.
Okay. So what I'm saying to you is, we've pampered our kids so much that they don't know the difference. And what we do have the capability of doing is explaining things to our kids that our parents would tell us: "Just do as I say, not as I do. As I say, not as I do." Because I said so. We do have the opportunity to explain to our kids, but there's a nice amount of us that won't. We won't explain to our kids, "Hey,
I get it.
Hey, this Christmas, Mama ain't gonna make it happen because Mama got bill.
Right.
And Daddy's somewhere with his other family, and he don't give a fuck."
What just happened?
No, that's what I'm telling you. We won't explain that.
Should we tell our children that?
Hell yeah! Stop. They know everything else. I hate when people say, "Oh, they too young to know that." Get the fuck out of here. Your kid. You
should tell your kid that they daddy got another fucking family.
Pound Town. Your kid know Pound Town at the age of fucking 4. Come on, man.
That's a song.
Think about all the shit that you was singing when you was brown and the pussy hole is pink. At the age of 4. Understand what I'm saying? A kid knows pronouns right now in first grade.
They, them.
In first grade. Here. Your kid knows how to unlock a phone at 3, 2. Why?
But to talk, because one is an emotional. What you're talking about is completely different, right?
No, it's not.
Yes, because what you're talking about is like a.
Explain it. Hold it accountable.
An automatic function. It's not holding him accountable to tell them that they daddy doing fuck shit with another bitch around the corner.
I didn't say she doing fuck shit. He's with his other family. He's not helping.
So I should tell that to a kid. You should tell that to your kid.
Here's something I'm going to tell you about men. I don't give a fuck if you my baby mama and I despise. I don't give a fuck what you say. It's not gonna affect me what you say. What's gonna affect me is when my daughter or my son say, "Dad, why you don't love me?" The shock value is gonna be, "Dad."
You don't think that you're gonna fuck a kid up telling them they daddy around the corner?
Listen. I'm telling you as a person who went through it. I appreciate that from my mother. I appreciate the open honesty from my mom to tell me your dad not helping. Cause now he can't push it off on my mother. Cause I see my mother doing it. You can't lie to me about what my mother's doing what I'm seeing in my face. Who feeds me every day.
Technically, she could have been lying. I don't think you're an amazing woman.
You can't lie to me about me. That's what I'm saying. My dad can't tell me what my mother doing unless my dad say, "I sent child support. Here's the child support receipts. This, that, and the third." And they say, "Oh man, that's grown ups business." It's not grown up business when somebody not doing their job. Somebody's not doing a job. So as a father, I'm gonna tell you.
So you can say that they're not doing their job without having to add his personal sex life into it.
I didn't say sex. I said he with his own family.
Okay.
Suck it up, bro. Suck it up. No. Who's gonna care about us?
That's not. I have no problem with the message. I have a problem with the added details that aren't necessary.
That detail is necessary.
To tell that kid that why your daddy can't just be not doing his part. Why do I have to add the fact that he's not doing his part because he's over there?
Because guess what? Now I cut off the lies. Let me tell you.
You think
Let me tell you what just happened with my dad. Let me tell you what happened with my dad. I'm getting a little personal. I told my dad, son, I really wanted to be there and this, that, and the third. How? You was over there taking care of somebody else's kids. You was raising somebody else's kids and not raising your own kids. That man was stuck. He couldn't say shit to me. Because this is fact. Had I not known that, my daddy would lie. He would have lied. He'd have gave me some bullshit to try to excuse what he's not doing. Again, we pick and choose what we want to tell our kids, right? It's okay to teach your kids or to let your kids learn how booty hole brown, they pronouns, but it's not okay to let your kid know that somebody's dropping the ball here. Let's hold each other accountable, which is why accountability is so low in our culture. We don't hold each other accountable for shit, but we pick and choose.
So, I receive everything you just said.
There you go.
I just told your ass I received everything you said. Thank you. But how do we, if we had to wrap this up, how do we prevent the king situations of the world?
We can do our best at being transparent, taking accountability, and raising our children together. Whether you're both in the household or you're not in the household, we have to put our differences aside and do what's best for the child. From that point on, it's on the kings of the world, because we've given you all the tools to build your life. It's up to the kid to begin the building process, or to put the proper tools where they need to go. So do your job and leave everything else up to God.
What do your job look like?
Are you asking us from a man? As a man, I'm going to talk with my child. I'm going to love my child unconditionally. I'm going to explain myself to my child. I'm going to hold him accountable. And I'm going to allot the space for my child to tell me what he feels and what he understands and he don't understand. Or she understand and don't understand. In my case, it'll be he. I'm going to always open that door.
You don't want a she?
I'm done. What? 2 and out. Gang. But what I'm saying is,
that ain't even enough for a good Thanksgiving dinner.
I don't celebrate Thanksgiving like that anyway. You better do your history. I'm gonna, and I do it now, I'm gonna always keep an open mind to learning. Because I know time changes consistently. That's the only thing that's guaranteed in this life is death and change. I know times are gonna change. I'm gonna stay in tune with my kids. Both. I'm gonna stay in tune with them. And I'm going to talk with my kids versus at my kids. I'm going to let them know that their voices are heard and that they matter. Once I do my part and I ask confirmation, do you understand me? Is there anything else you need help with? You know you can come talk to me if you need anything. Don't be afraid. I might not like it, but I'm still going to listen to it because it's you. I'm done from that point on. What my children choose to hold from me, what my children choose to do outside of that, that's on them now. How about you? What do you think you can do from a woman's standpoint?
I think that it's our job to nurture our children, to teach our children about their emotions, even in the space of us being emotional. I think it's our job to put our children in positions. I put my children in positions to get to their highest level of potential. I network on behalf of my children. I put my children in networks themselves to be able to get into the space and do the things that they need to do. I interview my children. Absolutely. I'll have my children at a table and I'll ask them an interview question to see how they respond back to me. I made sure that my children knew how to publicly speak. I teach, some people think I teach my children how to be scammers, but I don't teach my children how to be scammers. I teach my children.
Allegedly.
I teach my children how to be able to get the things that they need in life. So how do you go into this interview and lie to get the position that you need? Come in prepared, okay? But also be able to sell yourself and sell what you need to sell.
Okay, I like that one better.
Right, see what I'm saying? It was the way it was said at first. But I definitely put my children, I teach my children stuff. I think it's certain skills, life skills that my children need to know. I teach, my children have self-defense. My children know how to swim. My children know how to ride bikes. Like the things that I feel like are essential life skills, I make sure that my children have those things. But they also know emotional intelligence. They know how important their grades are. They're active. My children are extremely active. And I think that that's for the purposes of networking. Teach my children about money and finances. It's my job as a mom to teach those things. And that's what I do.
Okay. Well, I like that. And hopefully y'all viewers and listeners can combine these things and do a reality check or some, what's the word?
Reflection.
And check off the box and just make sure that you're doing everything that you can do to better your parenting skills, because the children are our future, according to.
I believe the children are our future.
According to Miss
Where
Whitney.
we going now?
But,
teach it well, man.
For another episode.
Some chocolate. I think that we are not doing well with our children of today. And I think that with enough conversations, fatherhood groups, I love that. If you ain't said shit else today, I mean, you said a few things, but.
What?
I'm just saying that really was at the forefront.
That though.
That fatherhood group thing really is helpful to me. And I love the fact that you said it, because I want other fathers to know that it's okay to be able to talk to other fathers about fatherhood and not just sports. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Not just bitches. Not just boogers. Not just motherfucking sports.
You know what?
Not about just liquor. But talk about being fathers.
You know what?
Just say I'm right.
I just thought about next 2-3 episodes because of it. The fact that you just said that. Again, the fatherhood thing is amazing. I would love to have other fathers. Here, but
let's do that. Let's get some fathers here.
Absolutely, but that will be the next one. That will be the next one. For sure. That will be the next one. So as we close out, I'm letting you know.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I just want to say I love the way y'all been improving. From 1 week, it looked like y'all been doing homework. It looked like y'all been having conversations outside of this right here. So I just want to say y'all dope, and the way y'all keep levitating, just keep going.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I can really see a total difference from last. Like, it's totally different.
I put it in a big seat.
All we needed was 1 week.
Yeah, like
get it together, critique, and thank you.
It's
I appreciate
totally different.
that.
Like y'all,
thank you.
It's like bam, y'all got it together.
I had to get them together. It's cool.
That's right. She's in the big seat. You know what? I'm gonna give you your praises, especially how you came up in here.
Yes.
But hey, next episode. Dating accordingly.
Wow.
Knowing how to identify the differences between the different groups of people.
Okay.
I know y'all might not like it, but there's a difference between women
What that mean?
Like
Bitches and hoes. I'm just saying.
All right. I appreciate you. This talks for us.
Let's talk to us. Have a good one.